out today and I'm taking care of business. And I go to the park and I'm sitting there and I notice this guy and he keeps staring at me. Of course, he was drinking. Finally, he comes up to me and he bends down and he looks at me. And I almost started crying. I thought, why am I going to cry? It was the sadness in his eyes. He said, have you ever seen an angel? And I said, yeah, a spiritual. He said, one with wings. And he looks at me. And I looked at him and I said, he said, well, I'm a good guy. And I said, well, I'm celibate. He said, well, I won't sleep with a woman till about 3 weeks in. I said, well, I'm celibate. I said, I'm waiting for the one. I said, ancient love. And he looks at me. And I said, because I honor the Most High. And he looks at me admiration and he rubs me my back. And I look at him. He said, I was real nervous. He said, I looked at you for a little bit. And he said to come up and talk to you. I said, a lot of people are. A lot of people are. I said, but when you walk up to me, I said, what is God? I said, God's love. And he just smiled real big. And then I got up and left. But I appreciate it, God. And I told him about the day that I was sitting there and a guy said he wanted to see. He asked God to see if he could see him that day. And he says, that mean anything to you? And I said, yeah, it does. My point is, you never really know how much you impact people. And he said, if you're out here on the street, you're protected. I got your back. And I said, honey, if I'm out here on the streets, there's a lot of people that have my back. I said, most of them I don't really know. I said, but when we cross paths, we just know. And he said, all right. And I said, okay, thank you. So, that's just a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to share that with you. Despite how things look and appear, one can never be their circumstances because God uses us all in different ways. So, have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. Love and light, everybody.